The problem that many beginners have when they start to train handstands is they try to focus on too many things. Think about locking your arms, thinking about elevating your shoulders, thinking about how your hands are placed. Is it flat? Is it bent? Which exercises should you be doing? It's overwhelming. What you really need to be doing if you want to see huge progress on getting to your handstand is focusing on one or two things. And after doing years of handstand training and teaching myself how to do handstands, I'm going to tell you the two things, the handstand cues that you probably need to be focusing on if you're trying to get your handstand. And these apply whether you're working on a box, working with the wall, or if you're already at your floor handstand. Cue number one is going to be pressing tall through your shoulders. One of the main ways that we're able to have control in our handstand is having strength through our scapulas and our shoulders. And there are a few different ways you can think about this cue when you're in the handstand or upside down in the handstand position. Number one way is thinking about squeezing your shoulders over your ears so that you're covering your ears as if they're earmuffs. And getting into our handstand position. So this is what it might look like if I'm not thinking about my shoulders. Now here, I'm going to really think on squeezing my shoulders over my ears and pushing my hands into the floor. So this is not a relaxed position. I'm just hanging out here. I'm actively pushing my shoulders over my ears and my hands pressing them into the floor. The same thing goes for if I'm practicing at the wall here. Here I'm actively squeezing my shoulders over my ears, thinking about pressing hard into the floor. I'm not thinking about my fingers. I'm not thinking about where I'm looking at the floor. I'm squeezing my shoulders over my ears. Which brings us to now, that brings me to the floor. If you're already working on the floor handstand, you might be thinking about cycling through that first handstand cue and the next one I'm about to tell you, but either way, you're still thinking about keeping your shoulders engaged, positioning your shoulders over your ears, and down the line, that's gonna allow for a better stacking. So you think about your wrist, over your shoulder, over your hips. A good stacked alignment when you're in your floor handstand. Just by focusing on getting that shoulder position into check, it's gonna really help your alignment and stacking further down the line. So this cue is kind of like the basics, but it's the fundamentals, the things you are gonna wanna continue to repeat and revisit even when you're working on more advanced handstand shapes. For example, I'm working on the one-armed handstand, training for the one-armed handstand, can't do it yet. We'll get there eventually. But even nowadays, I still focus on revisiting these handstand cues, thinking about my shoulder positioning, covering my ears. Handstand cue number two is going to be about core engagement. We want to get into the practice of having full body engagement in our handstand. Think about your body being completely stiff, every muscle engaged and locked in when you're in your handstand. That's going to allow you to have and develop that full body control that you need in order to hold the handstand for longer. So if you have a super flexible lower back like me, perhaps you have a very strong lower back arch, a few cues to think about here is maybe sucking your lower belly button into your stomach, or even just rounding out your lower back, which is essentially doing the same thing. It's just a cue to get you to go from a lower back arch into a nice flat back with your whole body and your core engaged. Same thing with our legs. We want our legs to be a nice squeeze together. We don't want our legs to be flopping around. It's gonna be really hard to hold the handstand like that. So when you're in the handstand, and I'll show you on the box, you want to squeeze your core, keep it engaged the whole movement. Now, before I show you two different handstand exercises that you can use to practice that core engagement, what this is going to look like on a box, for example, with and without core engagement.
Now, for example, for the one leg box hold, you might notice if I don't have good core engagement that my back is arching a little. My leg might be flaring out backwards, whereas when I'm thinking about squeezing my core, keeping that leg engaged the entire motion, I kind of straighten out here.
It's a little bit harder to notice when you're working on the box, but you'll see it more when we're on the wall here.
So now we're on the wall and I'm kind of sucking my belly button into my core. See how my back is kind of flat here? When I'm not thinking about that, you might notice that I develop almost like a banana back. My back kind of arches, my foot flails out backwards. But we want to think about squeezing the core inwards. Depending on the level that you're at, you might just think about sucking your belly button in.
But if you're working on your floor handstand, you might be cycling back and forth between squeezing your shoulders, keeping them engaged, and then core engagement as well to keep that full body nice and stiff, nice and straight, nice and locked in so that we're doing the handstand and holding it for longer. And there are two different exercises that I use and that I would recommend that you try out to help develop that full body core engagement. And the first one is going to be your hollow hold position. So here we're going to be laying down onto the floor. And you might notice when I extend my arms above me and lift my legs off the floor, there's a bit of a gap here between the floor and my lower back. The whole point of this exercise is to remove the gap and keep your core nice and engaged. You might crunch upwards with your abs a little bit, pressing that lower back into the floor. So what you want to do is extend both arms backwards, lift both feet off the floor, and think about squeezing your core so that your lower back is pressing the floor and you're crunched upwards a little bit. And if you feel a strain in the front of your neck here, you can lay your head back a little bit so that you don't have to gaze all the way at your toes. You can kind of gently gaze at the ceiling. And this helps train your core for the full body control that you need in your handstand. Now, if the hollow hold position is a bit too easy, what you can do is you can move into your reverse or flipped hollow hold position. This one's a bit more intense, so if you're on the beginner side, I'd recommend just staying off this one for now. And remember, these two exercises are supplementary to the handstand cues for you to focus on when you're in your workouts. These aren't the handstand cues, obviously. You're gonna start kind of in a plank position, and you're gonna walk your hands out as far as you can in front of you, and your feet as far back as you can. Now here, I'm not arching my lower back, I literally can't. I have to keep my hips in that nice flat position, and this trains my core engagement as well. Super fun. If you have two different foam rollers, you can use those to elevate your hands and your feet. That is another way that you can create that reverse flipped hollow body hold. And so that would look like this. And that one feels a lot harder than it actually looks. So you can skip this one if you're more of a beginner. All right, and we're gonna stop there because realistically, unless you've mastered those two cues, shoulder engagement and core engagement, which even advanced hand balancers continue to return back to the fundamentals and think about these cues in their training, just focus on those two because any additional cues are just gonna be distractions at this point. You only need to focus on one or two things, really focus on them, see improvement, and then eventually when you feel like you've mastered them, you can move on to the next handstand cues. But if you enjoyed this video, then let me know in the comments or let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.